It's about 4:40 p.m. on Friday, the 7th day of July 2017, and we're outside the North Country Family Health Center in Champlain on Route 11 for the closing hour or so of operation here. This is a Friday. This is their last day. On Monday, they'll be moving to the brand new facility located at 828 Route 11. And it'll be then known as the Champlain Family Health Center, a part of Hudson Headwaters Health Network. In around 1960, a committee was formed from people in the Moores, Champlain, and Rouse's Point area, and there's a plaque inside. We're hoping to look at that plaque and get those names. And they formed a committee that looked into the possibility of this medical center happening. It happened, and by 1961, with property donated by Sam and Esther Long, this facility was put up, constructed by Jules Trahan Construction. And I think in 1963, Dr. Racine replaced Dr. Southwick, John Southwick, replaced the first doctor here, Dr. Richard Schulteis. And along around 65, Dr. George Starr came, and about 1981, Dr. Morris Racine came. So we're going to look at the last days of this structure here, this building, this facility, this family health center that has served the North Country for about 6 to 7 decades now, about 6 full decades in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. And 17 years into the year 2000. Now these are the plaques that are on the wall here. As you walk in past the waiting room, and these will be relocated in the place of honor in the new facility. We thought we'd take a moment to read them. Erected in 1961, and the first board of directors, Clifford LaPlante, chairman, Lawrence Paquette, secretary. His widow, Celine Racine Paquette, of course, is on the board of directors at the Hudson Headwaters. Directors included Richard Collins, Franklin Forbes, Frank Goodrich Jr., Amos Musaw, Paul Vogan, Jesse Walker, Raymond Walsh, and John Teaser. That was it. As we said, it was land donated by the Longs. I'm not sure if there's a plaque here that mentions that. We'll see what the other plaques have to say. Knowledge with gratitude, the generous donation of Mrs. Vivian Weston in memory of her husband Andrew Weston. Numerous donations in memory of Walter Dupree by his loving wife Anna. A gift to the center by Florence Atwood in memory of Florence Breedenberg. This room given and furnished. This is Florence Atwood in loving memory of her husband Arthur Atwood and sons John and Brooks Atwood. Deeply grateful to Sam. Here we go. Sam, Mr. and Mrs. Sam and is it Esther Long? It was still an era where women didn't have the real first name, so they'd go by Mrs. Sam Long. So Mr. and Mrs. Samuel Long. Generous donation to the building site. In fact, the Three Steeples Church was also, I believe, donated by. The property there was donated by the Longs. And donation in memory of John Whiteside by his loving wife Eleanor. And here's that mention to the Sears Roebuck Foundation. Is proud to cooperate with North Country Medical Center Foundation in establishing this medical facility for the better health of its people. So all these plaques will find a place of honor in the new facility. 56 years ago when this facility started, 1961, this guy was just about 3 years old, so you've,
I was 8 years old.
you're 8 years old. So that's 53 years old. 8 years old, yeah. And you came here in 81, right, Morris?
That's correct.
This is Dr. Morris Racine. This is your desk. We've been trying to decide who these old folks are in the picture here. Who is that?
That's my great-grandfather,
Great-grandfather, okay.
Saint Bernard Lecold.
Alright, what's his name? You forgot.
Forgotten the name, yep.
Alright, I'll tell Celine. Unfortunately, Celine.
But I think the names are on the back.
Maybe behind the picture, but not in the back of the thing. So that's something we'll have to find out later. So this is your desk. Is this going to the new facility?
Yep. This was Dr. Salvik's grandfather's desk.
Oh, wow.
Yep. I think Dr. Salvik had left it here when he retired, and
So you grabbed it.
you know, so sort of like a wedding, something old, something new, something.
So you're taking this to the new
Yeah.
facility? And
Yeah, I'm probably the only one that's allowed to have a desk there. I'll never be at it, but I didn't know we're going to share it with all the providers and give all the providers somewhere a bigger desk to sit at.
Yeah,
We'll put it in the provider's room, so it's really not going to be my desk, but it'll be
I'll be sharing.
sharing, a desk for everybody to use.
Okay. Now, when you show up on Monday, you're going to drive right by there and come in here by mistake? Or?
No, because I live in back,
Oh, you live back here.
so it's hard to drive by.
Well, you'll drive by here.
It'll occur to me there's no cars in the parking lot, so
Okay, I wasn't sure if you were still living there or not. So
yeah, I do.
okay. All right, so kind of a more bitter or more sweet? For
No, I think it's great. I think I'm very fortunate as I'm hoping to retire in a year and a half and go part-time. I'll be 65. That I'm very fortunate there's a new building, a lot of new young providers that are here, younger health extenders that'll be able to take care of the community. I don't have to worry.
Yeah, and, you know, as we were taking that tour a couple of days ago, I don't think you could have imagined what really was going to transpire here in just a few years with Hudson Headwaters, that facility.
7 years, 6 months. 7 days ago, I gave up my privileges at the hospital, and I knew this practice was dying just from reimbursement. And the lucky part was my hooking up with Dr. Runge and his, my dreams to see this building built, which it is, and then see a place in Plattsburgh, and hopefully someday even Keysville and Dannemora. That would tie in all the outer reaches of the county, and all under the Hudson Headwaters. His primary goal is is older people and the Fidelis Medicaid people, and obviously a lot of the insurance company people come here as well, but taking care of everybody. So that was kind of my dream, and it's sort of slowly coming about. So it's kind of to me a very cool thing.
Did you really imagine a facility like that, new
Well,
facility?
they looked at this building, and when the commissioner of health came through, he was Dr. Shaw, I think his name was. It was obvious to both of us this facility would never pass any inspection, and the Department of Health's been good. That they knew a new facility had to come through. It was Hudson Headwaters who put us the last on the list, but obviously corrected all the mistakes of all the other facilities they built to build this facility. So when I saw the plans, there was no question. I mean, they told me they wanted to build a big facility, and they did. And I think it's the staff here that we've probably tripled in size, I want to say, in the last 5 years, and having a huge shortage of area that convinced the government that there was a need for a good facility up here.
You said all those older folks, but you're also looking for the families, the young
Everybody,
newborns, everybody else.
yeah. It's a true family practice.
Right.
Thank you.
Some of the providers here are going to be more in tune to taking care of babies, younger. They'll have medical students, residents, people teach, not residents, but faculty members teaching here. So that'll bring in more services to the area.
Okay. it's an exciting time. We're looking forward to that ribbon cutting, but starting in a couple of days. Today's Friday and then Monday, and I'm sure you've spent a few hours in that new facility. And
Oh, right from the ground up. I know that building pretty well.
all right, anything else, Dr. Morris was seeing?
I think what was neat, 75% of the workers that worked in that building lived within 25 miles in this area.
That's important. You put up a building like that, and you use local jobs. And who was the contractor?
It was Murnane's. They did an excellent job. They came through and they did. And I think the foreman was Scott Blondo, I believe.
Really?
And Scott,
Local boy.
local boy, and Scott. That's you could tell his heart was in that building too. And that's kind of cool that it was a local foreman that put it up.
Yeah, that is nice. So this is it? You're going to grab your stethoscope, or you're going to, how's this going to move? You're going to be here tomorrow to move, or?
No, I think that's all already taken care of.
You've got, you've got staff that'll take care of that for you.
Yes, they do, unfortunately.
All right, any final thoughts, Dr. Racine?
No, I've been very fortunate to be blessed to have a lot of good people around me.
Okay, so I think you've seen your last patient. It's now 20 of 6. I think Dr. Siklevich has got a couple or one or two left to see, but we're going to wrap it up here because
And that's it.
when you leave, it's done here. It's closed.
And who knew the original group of people that got together in the late 50s, early 60s, Frank Forbes and that group that would see this another building come up and back to being a nonprofit. It's interesting when that board got this building built and they disbanded. They were going to disband, but they decided their next project was to connect the water between Champlain and Rogers Point. That just came through this year as well. So I do think it's kind of interesting that how many years later that there's finally the water going through the whole town.
Having water at that new facility was important.
Yeah,
Important part of the project.
Yeah, right.
You had to have that water. So of course you could have tied into the village close enough that if necessary you could have.
Well, they had to tap in behind Price Chopper for the natural gas, so they could have tapped into the water as well when they went under the stream there.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Morris.
All right, see you.
See you in the new place. There he is, grabbing his last lunch pail and heading out.
Do you?
We're leaving.
Okay, here they are, the crew. There they go, calling it a day. So that's going to wrap it up. This is the end of the story here at the former North Country Medical Center. 56 years of history. That'll wrap it up here from Hometown Cable. Thank you for watching.